Hi, I'm Lorin Kaufman, and I am so thrilled to be here with my dear friend, mentor, and teacher, Desda, the founder of Core Individuation, the author of Your Sacred Anatomy, an extraordinarily brilliant, gifted, wise woman who just has so much to share. I am just so honored to be here talking with her today.
Oh, thank you, Lorin. It's so nice to be here with you, too. I'm really excited about what we're doing together. You and I have spent a lot of time talking, thinking, meditating, praying, and working together to retool a class that I've taught, since the year 2000, called Awakening the 9 Levels of Sensing. This class was something that I put together to answer the question, how do you know what you do, and how do you do it, and what is it that you're sensing, and how do you feel this stuff? Those questions were ones that people asked me over and over again. And at first when I started to teach, I thought, how can I teach extrasensory consciousness without teaching people how to sense? So I began developing the 9 levels of sensing really early on in my career, trying to figure out how to get people tuned in enough to be able to feel all the things that I wanted them to experience. And what happened was that the 9 levels of sensing was born. And I realized that there are 9 distinct ways that we sense energy, and one of them is physical. So all the senses of the physical body make up one level of sensing. So you can imagine, if that's just one level, what we're looking at here. We're looking at a vast panorama of different ways to explore the human sensate capacity. I wanted to do this with you, Lorin, because you're such an incredible, teacher of movement and dance and meditation. And you have such an incredible heart and capacity. You have an ability to warm the room up just by your presence. So together we thought we would have a pretty good time.
Oh, thank you. That was so lovely.
Yeah, well, we got it coming right up in November 15th through the 21st. And we're going to teach here at a meditation retreat site called Pema Osel Ling, which is just extraordinary. And it's a Dzogchen meditation retreat center devoted to Padmasambhava, and the place is just exquisite. It's just beautiful. It's in the Santa Cruz Mountains. So we'd love to see you there. We'd love to have you join us for some fun.
I remember the first time. Well, I've done 9 levels twice, and I think it was truly one of the most extraordinary experiences I've ever had. I felt like you led us into a journey, into places in our consciousness, into our being that I didn't know existed.
Well, you know what it is that there, in the layers system, which is the subtle anatomy organs, there are places where you can stand, kind of where you can look out, where you can have a vantage point from. So what I do is I teach people how to access those parts of the subtle anatomy, and then how to use them to accomplish a form of sensing. So this is an extraordinary experience. It's not taught by any other person in the entire world. And it's something that I love doing. I kind of think of this class as my Cadillac because it's so much fun, and it's a great cruise for 6 days.
So if you now wanted to talk about why people who are on the CI path, why students of yours, why practitioners, why should they take this class? What would you say?
Well, I make sure that there are some prerequisites to this class. The first one is the Illuminated Body for Professional Healers, which is a weekend class, and that really teaches you the primary skill set, which is actually one of the levels of sensing called the edge technique. And so we teach people how to sense energy at the edge of the subtle anatomy in that class. So this is used all through the 9 levels class. The second course that is a prerequisite is Energetic Hygiene for Healers, which is a class that is dedicated to really caring for yourself, keeping yourself clean and fresh and free and open. And that's stuff that's really important. If you're going to do a deep dive, a really intense class, you need to have prerequisites that set you up for it. So most people who begin to study with me start with one of those classes, or sometimes you get go-getters who just want to take them back to back. But everybody's got these classes under their belt, and it enables them to come in at a certain level of attainment, so that when we begin to work together in 9 levels, they can take care of themselves if they need to. They're working at the edge of their subtle anatomy, so they're using a consistent form of interaction. So everyone is working the same way, which is really unique. I think the reason I'd like to see anyone and everyone who's listening to me talk and studying with me and is intrigued by core individuation, I'd like to see all those people come to this class. It is because, well, first of all, I haven't taught it in 7 years, so it's a really good opportunity to get something that's I consider to be the crown jewel, But if they're unable to take more advanced classes, this class is an incredible entree into a deep self-exploration. So, if nothing else, you get an experience of retreat, rejuvenation, renewal, restoration of hope and vitality, and you leave this class feeling like you understand something about who you are that you didn't before. And that's why I want anyone and everyone who's ever heard me speak to come take these classes.
And one thing that I know will be true, it will be an extraordinarily good time, a rejuvenating time. It will really be, as Desda says, a deep dive into yourself and some of the ancient mysteries of who we are. And without giving it away, is there maybe one little thing you might tell people that they may learn while they're there?
Well, we're going to do some deep meditation, and we're going to do experiential learning. There'll be a lot of experiential learning. One of the most extraordinary things that you're probably going to experience is how to do emotional scanning. So you're going to learn how to scan another person, say an infant or someone in a coma. You're going to learn how to scan them and feel into their emotional layer so that you can read what emotions are dominant and predominant, and you can understand better how to support and serve them. That's a pretty amazing skill to have for life. So that's just one. And then we have mental assessment, which gives you a way to hold the world as if you were holding an infant, and to completely accept and love other people from the most compassionate place that you have within you. And this is something that I can teach you to do. It doesn't require enlightenment or great spiritual attainment. It simply requires showing up. So there's going to be some great skills you'll learn. You're going to learn how to do a Akashic reading from the etheric layer. So you'll be able to jump into the mini Akashic records of someone else's structure and read what's there in a safe and healthy and hygienic manner. We're going to do cognitive intuition, and cognitive intuition helps us understand, like a medical intuitive does, where in the physical body there's an issue, but also where in the subtle anatomy there's an issue, and then how to approach that, how to define it, how to understand it. So it's only 6 days, but you come away with this jam-packed, and then of course there's primal knowingness, which is amazing.
I think we can't tell anymore. So, please, join us for Awakening the 9 Levels of Sensing. You will not be disappointed, because the territory that we're exploring is you. So,
November 2015. Come on.
Hope to see you there.